Imagine waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, your heart pounding, your mind racing with every possible thing that could go wrong tomorrow. Your boss might criticize you, your investment might crash, your partner might leave you, your health might fail. That anxiety is not just uncomfortable, it is debilitating. It robs you of your sleep, your peace, and your ability to think clearly. Now imagine the exact opposite, waking up in the same chaotic world, facing the same uncertainty, but feeling completely calm, grounded, and unshaken. You watch others panic around you, but you remain steady. You observe their fear without absorbing it. You acknowledge the risks without being paralyzed by them. This is not a fantasy. This is the reality of a mind that has been trained by Stoic philosophy. And the man who perfected this art was Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled one of the most powerful empires in history while writing deeply personal reflections on how to stay sane in an insane world. He wrote in his private journal known as Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That sentence is not just beautiful prose, it is a practical instruction manual for survival in the modern world. Because if you cannot control your mind will control you. And a mind that is out of control will destroy your relationships, your career, your health, and your future.
Let's understand why your mind is so easily controlled by external events. The human brain evolved to prioritize survival over happiness. It is constantly scanning your environment for threats, real or perceived. A stressful email triggers the same fight or flight response as a physical predator. A negative comment on social media activates the same neural pathways as social rejection, which in ancient times could mean exclusion from the tribe and death. This is why you overreact to minor criticisms, why you lie awake worrying about things that never happen, why you feel overwhelmed by the news cycle. Your brain is not broken, it is working exactly as it was designed. But that design is outdated for the world you live in today. You are no longer running from lions on the savannah. You are navigating complex social dynamics, economic pressures, and information overload. And your ancient brain does not know how to handle these modern challenges. So it sends you into a state of constant alertness, which exhausts your energy, clouds your judgment, and makes you reactive rather than intentional. This is what Marcus Aurelius recognized over 2,000 years ago. He realized that the external world would always be unpredictable, unfair, and often hostile. The only reliable refuge was the inner citadel of the mind. He trained himself to distinguish between what was within his control and what was not, and to focus all his energy on the former. That distinction is the foundation of Stoic practice, and it is the single most powerful tool you will ever learn.
Let's bring this to life with a story you have not heard before. Meet Jessica from Los Angeles. At 32, Jessica was a marketing executive who seemed to have it all: a six-figure salary, a beautiful apartment, a loving partner, and a thriving social life. But inside, she was a wreck. She suffered from chronic anxiety, panic attacks, and an overwhelming fear of failure. Every time her boss scheduled a meeting, she would spiral into catastrophic thinking. Every time her partner did not reply to a text immediately, she assumed the relationship was ending. Every time the stock market dipped, she panicked about her retirement savings. She was exhausted by the constant mental turmoil. One day, a colleague recommended a book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. She was skeptical at first. What could a Roman emperor teach her about modern life? But she started reading, and something clicked. She came across this line: "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." She realized that her thoughts were the source of her suffering, not her boss, not her partner, not the economy. She had been giving away her mental peace to things she could not control. So she began a practice. Every morning, she would write down one thing she was afraid of and ask herself, can I control this? If the answer was no, she would consciously release it. If the answer was yes, she would create a small action plan. Over time, this simple practice rewired her brain. She stopped reacting to every external trigger. She became calmer, more focused, and more effective at work. Her anxiety did not disappear completely, but it no longer ruled her life. Jessica is not a philosopher. She is an ordinary person who decided to take control of her mind, and that decision changed everything.
Now, let's debunk a common misconception about Stoicism. Many people assume that being Stoic means suppressing your emotions, becoming cold and detached, or pretending that nothing bothers you. This is completely wrong. Stoicism does not teach you to eliminate emotions. It teaches you to examine them. A Stoic does not say, "I will not feel anger." A Stoic says, "I feel anger arising, but I will not let it dictate my actions." This distinction is crucial. You are human, and you will experience fear, grief, frustration, and joy. These emotions are natural signals, but they are not commands. You are not obligated to act on every feeling that arises. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. Notice the language. He did not say anxiety disappeared. He said he discarded it. It was a conscious choice. This is the core practice of Stoic mindfulness. You become aware of your emotional state. You observe it without judgment, and then you decide whether to let it influence your behavior. This is not repression, it is mastery. And mastery comes with practice, not perfection. Every time you choose to respond rather than react, you strengthen your mental fortress. Let's talk about the illusion of control. Most people spend their lives trying to control things that are fundamentally uncontrollable. Other people's opinions, the economy, the weather, traffic, the algorithm, their boss's mood, their partner's behavior, and they fail over and over. This failure breeds frustration, resentment, and a sense of powerlessness. But Marcus Aurelius understood something that most people never grasp. The only thing you truly control is your own mind. You control your judgments, your choices, your values, and your actions. Everything else is outside your sphere of influence. This is why he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In other words, your suffering is not caused by events. It is caused by your interpretation of events. Change your interpretation, and you change your experience. This is not wishful thinking, it is cognitive reframing, a technique widely used in modern cognitive behavioral therapy. When you lose your job, you can interpret it as a catastrophe or as an opportunity to find a better path. When you receive criticism, you can interpret it as an attack or as feedback to grow. The event is neutral. Your mind assigns the meaning. And because you assign the meaning, you have the power.
Let's bring in another powerful Stoic concept, premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is the practice of deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios before they happen. It sounds counterintuitive. Why would you want to think about terrible things? The purpose is not to make you anxious, but to prepare your mind so that if these things do happen, you are not caught off guard. You are not shattered because you have already mentally rehearsed your response. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each morning, "Today I will meet interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness
all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. He was not being pessimistic, he was being realistic. He knew that the world was imperfect, and he prepared his mind accordingly. This is a technique used by athletes, military leaders, and top executives today. They visualize failure not to manifest it, but to inoculate themselves against it. When you have already accepted the possibility of losing your job, that job loss loses its power to terrify you. When you have already imagined a breakup, you are less likely to cling desperately to a toxic relationship. Stoicism is not about avoiding pain. It is about becoming so strong that pain cannot break you. Now, let's look at the modern epidemic of comparison and its destructive impact on mental health. Social media has amplified our tendency to measure ourselves against others. We see curated highlights of everyone else's lives, their vacations, promotions, weddings, fitness transformations, and we feel inadequate. We think everyone is doing better than me, and we spiral into envy and self-doubt. Marcus Aurelius addressed this centuries ago when he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop obsessing over how you measure up to others. Stop comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. The only meaningful comparison is between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Are you kinder, more disciplined, more focused? That is the only metric that matters. The Stoics understood that envy is a poison that distracts you from your own path. It makes you want what others have, rather than appreciating what you already have and building on it. So next time you feel the sting of comparison, take a deep breath and remind yourself the success of others does not diminish my own potential. Their journey is not mine. I will focus on what I can control, my own thoughts, choices, and actions. That one mental shift can save you years of unnecessary suffering.
Let me tell you about another person, this time from Sydney, Australia. Meet Alex, a 41-year-old architect who had built a successful career but was deeply unhappy. He was constantly stressed about deadlines, demanding clients, and the pressure to maintain his reputation. He had built his entire identity around his professional success, and the fear of losing it was consuming him. He was irritable at home, distant with his children, and had developed insomnia. His wife, a clinical psychologist, suggested he explore Stoic philosophy. At first, Alex dismissed it as abstract and irrelevant. But one night, unable to sleep, he downloaded a podcast on Marcus Aurelius and listened to a single sentence. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That sentence hit him like a thunderbolt. He realized that his anxiety was entirely self-generated. He was worried about things that had not happened and might never happen. He was trying to control outcomes that were not his to control. So he started a daily practice. Every evening, he would reflect on 3 things that had gone wrong that day and ask himself, could I have controlled this? Most of the time, the answer was no. And when he accepted that, the anxiety dissolved. He also started a morning routine, 5 minutes of silent meditation, repeating to himself, I will meet difficult people today. I will face challenges. I will not let them disturb my peace. Over the course of 6 months, Alex transformed. He became more patient with his children, more understanding with his wife, and more effective at work because he was no longer wasting energy on worry. He stopped trying to control the uncontrollable and focused entirely on his own mindset. His insomnia disappeared, his marriage improved, his career flourished. And he told his wife, I wish I had learned this 20 years ago.
Now, let's confront a difficult reality. Many people will resist Stoic thinking because it demands radical accountability. It is easier to blame your boss, your upbringing, the economy, or bad luck than to accept that your mental state is your own responsibility. But that blame is a trap. It gives away your power. When you blame external forces, you are saying, I am a victim, and victims cannot change their circumstances. The Stoic says the opposite. I may not choose what happens to me, but I always choose how I respond, and my response determines my experience. This does not mean the world is fair or that you are to blame for everything. It simply means that your power lies in your perception and your actions, not in the events themselves. This is why Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles are not roadblocks, they are the raw material for growth. Every difficulty is an opportunity to practice patience, creativity, and courage. Every failure is a chance to learn humility and resilience. Every insult is a chance to practice forgiveness and emotional control. The obstacle becomes the way when you stop resisting it and start using it as fuel for your development. Let's also talk about the Stoic view of death, a topic that most people avoid at all costs. Marcus Aurelius wrote constantly about mortality, not to be morbid, but to remind himself of what truly matters. He said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not grim, it is liberating. When you accept that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivialities. You stop holding grudges, seeking approval, and chasing empty status. You start prioritizing your values, your relationships, and your contributions. You become more intentional with every hour. Death is the ultimate deadline, and when you live with that awareness, you stop procrastinating, stop making excuses, and start taking action. This is why Stoicism is not a philosophy of pessimism. It is a philosophy of urgency and purpose. It says, life is short, use it wisely. Do not let fear of death prevent you from living fully. If you are afraid of dying, you are also afraid of living. You are afraid of taking risks, pursuing your dreams, and being fully yourself. The Stoic does not fear death. They embrace it as a natural part of life, and in doing so, they free themselves to live without hesitation.
Now let's apply all of this to your everyday life. You are going to face setbacks today. Your meeting might go poorly, a project might fail, someone might let you down, your health might falter, your finances might take a hit. These are not failures of character, they are inevitable parts of being human. But you have a choice. You can let these events destabilize you, or you can meet them with equanimity. You can react impulsively, or you can respond deliberately. You can become a victim of circumstance, or you can become a master of your own mind. The Stoic tool is simple, but requires constant practice. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. Repeat this process 1,000 times a day, and over time, it becomes a habit. Your peace of mind is not something you find, it is something you build, brick by brick, through disciplined thought. Marcus Aurelius did not wake up as a serene emperor. He woke up as a flawed human being who had to fight for his composure every single day, just like you. But he kept fighting, he kept writing, he kept reminding himself of what he could control and what he could not. And that is why his words still resonate 2,000 years later.
So here is your final task, and it is urgent. Today, before you sleep, sit in silence for 5 minutes and review your day. Identify every moment you felt angry, anxious, or overwhelmed. For each moment, ask yourself, was this feeling caused by something I could control? Most likely, the answer will be no. Now, make a commitment. Tomorrow, when something triggers you, you will not react immediately. You will take one conscious breath. You will remind yourself that your mind is your domain, and no one else has access to it unless you grant them permission. You will practice the discipline of assent, choosing which thoughts you accept and which you reject. This is not easy,
but it is simple, and over time, it will give you a power that money cannot buy and status cannot guarantee. It will give you inner freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they care about." If you care deeply about mastering your own mind, you will become a person of immense worth, not because of what you have, but because of who you have become. And that person is unshakable. That person is free. That person is ready for anything. Begin today. Your mind is the only thing you truly own. Guard it, train it, and never surrender it to anyone else.